Welcome back to my channel and this video where I'm going to talk about the books I've read this month. I haven't really been that motivated. I don't know. I've been listening to a lot of audiobooks, then I decided sort of to try to not listen to audiobooks at all and see if that helped me read more physical books. It really didn't. It doesn't really matter either, I guess. So let's just talk about the books I've read. The first book I read is called Wonder Boys by Michael Chabon or Chabon. I have no clue how you pronounce that name, but this was a novel that I tried reading earlier this year, found it to be a bit complex, but then tried again and it really wasn't. It was really just me having a bad day, I guess. And this story is about an aging author that can't really finish his novel, and his friend Crabtree, who is kind of a bit all over the place. It's really funny at times, but it lacks direction. Like, parts of it I really loved, and it's really a quotable book. I read this book on my Kindle, and one of the fun things about reading on my Kindle is that I actually revised the stuff that I highlight, and it has a lot of moments where I giggled. So one of those moments was: I avoided Crabtree, to whom I felt I had become nothing more than a colossal debit on the balance sheet of his life. I thought that was pretty fun. Also, one line that I feel explains this book a bit is, "Let's buy a gun," he said happily. Yeah, it's chaotic, it's at times funny, but lacks like the direction. I have no clue where this all is heading, but I'm sort of enjoying the ride. A pretty solid 3 out of 5 stars in my book. Now for something completely different, it's Nød by Are Kalvø. Are Kalvø is a Norwegian comedian, and I thought this was a non-fiction, and it was more fun as a non-fiction, but it's actually, I think it's his first fictionalized piece of literature. So this is about him, or a person that is similar to him, winning the lottery, and it's all tied up to the Band Aid concerts in the 80s and him wanting to save the world. So he decides that he'll plan a trip to Africa for all people that have won the lottery. So millionaires. So millionaires saving Africa, I guess, is the general theme. I thought it was really funny, and he has my kind of humor. It's quite dark, sarcastic, but still, the story isn't all that great. Once you've catched on to the Lotto millionaires going to Africa thing, it sort of loses its spark. But still, I think I ended up giving it a 4 out of 5 just because I enjoy the way he talks about it. So I enjoyed it. And again, for something different, it's The Twins' Diaries by Ágota Kristóf. I couldn't really find out what this is in English. I found the title The Notebook, but it seems kind of strange. But these are 3 small books in this edition collected into one. And these books were all over Instagram a couple of years ago, and sometimes still is. It's one of the most disturbing things I've ever read, and I've read some disturbing things. It starts out with these 2 twin boys. It's the Second World War. They're sent to this evil grandma, but it turns out that they are, I don't know if they are accustomed to evil, but they quickly find out that they have to find out how they're going to prevail in this harsh time. So they start doing stuff to themselves. They torture themselves. They torture others. It just keeps on getting worse, and it's deeply fascinating. I guess I started thinking about being a part of a war, how you might have to adjust yourself to it, and how it might affect you being in the middle of it. It doesn't have a lot to do with the Second World War. It's more about them and their development or lack of development. I don't know how to feel about it, but it's more like, how do people act or react when bad stuff happens? And yeah, they grow up, they grow older, and the plot thickens. it is quite like, it's not crime fiction, but it's more like it has this tension to it, and you're wondering how is this going to end? I was deeply fascinated by this. It was a clear 5-star for me, and it's been a while since I was like appalled by reading a book at the same time as I was fascinated. So, huge recommendation. Now for a novel I've been putting off for the longest time, and it's Svik 1938 by Kjell Westö. In English, this is called The Wednesday Club, but in Norwegian, it's Betrayal. And it's about this lawyer in Finland in 1938, and a little bit backwards. He has this club with other, like, men of grand stature, I should say, and these are discussing what is happening around in Europe at these times. At the same time, our main character has gotten a new secretary, which has sort of a hidden past, and we have no clue what she has been through. So that's sort of the two plots going on at the same time. Also, our main character is going through a breakup, which sort of is the third. I thought this was going to be quite dry and boring. It's historical fiction, so I do enjoy historical fiction in general. So I'm a bit unsure why I thought this would be boring. I think it might have something to do with the cover. This doesn't give me like a this would be fun vibe, or this will be exciting. So I guess it has to do with that. But it surprised me a bit, and at times it was really, really exciting. I am trying to read all the 20 last books that has won the Nordic Council Literature Prize, so this is just one step in that project, and this was a breath of fresh air. I liked it a lot more than the other ones I've read, so that's cool. Then I picked up Murakami's First Person Singular. This is a collection of short stories, and I was not able to pick out a theme. I just like Murakami's universe. It's weird. I like the weirdness. I like how he talks about music in all of them, how some of them have music titles, and if you know the musicians, it makes it a little bit more fun. All those kinds of things, like we're a part of this together. Sort of that feeling. But other than that, I found the stories to be quite boring. So it's more like I enjoy reading Murakami, but not the stories. That's a bit unfamiliar to me. I have in general liked all the stuff he has written. The short stories collection, this is the third short story collection I've read, and I like the two other ones better. They feel like they have more like a human connection between the characters. This is more like describing things that happened, and not like a dialogue between two people, which I find that he does very well. So a bit disappointed, but soon we'll read more Murakami and I'll be back on track. I actually have quite a few unfinished novels this month, novels I've started, but I thought I'd have more time to read during the Easter break. I have children, so that was probably a mistake of me to think. But anyway, next month probably I've read more books than this one. Even though that doesn't matter at all, I get that. I get that in this month I've read more books than I read like for the total year in 2019 or 18 or whatever. So, hooray! Yeah. Have you read any books that you think I might enjoy? Please comment them below. You probably know what I like. And thank you for watching this video. I'll see you in the next one. Bye!